Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Evelyn and her teams on Qingyi defense. We're going over free-to-play teams all the way to the more premium options you can use with Evelyn. Just to make it clear, this is the same Qingyi defense that is currently live on the game, which means you need to trigger quick assist to benefit from the Qingyi buff, and the enemy is electric weak. Starting with the classic free-to-play team, Anby and Nicole prove to be a good option for Evelyn, especially for this rotation, since Anby can deal huge days numbers with a low field time. But outside of stunning the enemy, Anby provides no buffs for Evelyn, and Nicole also won't provide attack buffs. So the damage potential is quite limited, but it's still super fine for Evelyn and Qingyi defense. The only thing you need to keep track of is Nicole defense shred and try to apply before every single chain and ultimate. I managed to clear it using 2 stun windows for Evelyn on every single attempt and got an average of 98.2 seconds, with my fastest clear being 95 seconds. But if you're dealing with an enemy that is not electric weak or even deadly assault, Anby potential starts to fall off, and this could prove to be quite challenging. While Nicole is a good pick for the quick swap playstyle, running Anby with Astra was enough to cut 10 seconds on my fastest clear and around 9 seconds on the overall clear time. For Deadly Assault, this could prove to be even better since Astra provides a lot of iframes, healing, and extra chains for Evelyn, unlike Nicole, which can only provide defense shred and crit rate. But one of the main advantages of Astra over Nicole is how easy it's for you to trigger quick assist, and this makes your gameplay with Evelyn really smooth. In case you have no idea on how important quick assists are for Evelyn, then you can check out my Evelyn guide that I'm going to be linking in the top right corner. Next up, we have Koleda for the stunner slot, which a lot of players will pick for Evelyn since it gives damage increase for your chain attack. But the thing with Koleda is that you're only benefiting from the chain attack damage during the stun window. This requires a lot of adjustments on your rotation in order to maximize the number of chain attacks you can use during the stun window. I'll be explaining the whole setup and rotation when talking about Koleda Astra, so hold on a little bit while we talk about other units. My fastest clear using Koleda Nicole was only 6 seconds faster than using Anby Nicole, but once again, keep in mind this wasn't a fire weak enemy, because if it was a fire weak enemy for sure, Koleda would be a huge pick here over Anby. And in case you're wondering why not showcasing Lucy so far, that's because the current shield buff doesn't help her that much. Since you need to consistently trigger quick assist in order to benefit from the shield attack buff, Lucy needs to run energy regeneration, and even so, sometimes you just whiff your EX special on the wall and this won't trigger quick assist, which is bad for both shield buff and also for Evelyn. This was super frustrating to test, so I didn't even bother testing on Anby, but for Koleda Lucy I got a 99 second clear and an average of 103 seconds to clear this boss fight. Of course, if the buff wasn't related to quick assist and the boss were fire weak, chances are Lucy would perform really well here, since she's also a good damage dealer despite being a support unit. Now, when comparing Koleda Astra with Anby Astra, I got 19 seconds faster than using Anby Astra. That's mostly because Astra can give you even more chain attacks and the Koleda buffs chain attack damage. As I mentioned before, there's some setup you need to do in order to maximize the number of chains you can do with Koleda in your team. First, you need to fully stack Evelyn points and a full Ember bar, and also get her ultimate. Just stack every single resource you can on Evelyn. Then, you stun the enemy using Koleda and chain into Evelyn. Hold down your basic attack button during the chain attack and cancel the chain attack combo. This way, you start Evelyn's own chain attack without using your basic attack 1. You need to time your swap here so you can hit the enemy with a heavy attack and trigger another stun chain right after Evelyn's own chain ends. Once again, hold down your basic attack during the chain to start Garrote as soon as it ends. But cancel the Garrote animation using your ultimate so you can get extra stacks and cut some seconds. Keep holding your basic attack button to trigger another Garrote and link into chain. Now, if you're not using Astra, that's a total of 4 chain attacks you can trigger in a single stun window, but if you time it perfectly, you can swap to Astra and use her ultimate to trigger a 5th chain attack on the same stun window. While you don't need to master this rotation to play Evelyn, this is the best one in case you want to squeeze every single drop of chain damage when using Koleda. Now, before jumping into the premium team, in case you're thinking about Qingyi, she's a quite solid pick on Qingyi defense, despite not being the best option for Evelyn. Qingyi adds a lot of damage to the stun window, and since this enemy here is electric weak, you get a fast stun that provides a lot of damage for Evelyn. But for a harder boss fight, such as Deadly Assault, I don't think pairing Qingyi and Evelyn will be a good choice. Even on shield defense, if you can't clear the boss in a single stun window, chances are you're losing a lot of damage potential. Using Qingyi Astra gave me a 53-second clear, and that's 13 seconds faster than Koleda Astra. So, if you have a lot of damage on Evelyn, Qingyi can provide a huge damage boost, but in return you won't be playing Evelyn as a sustained DPS anymore. For this playstyle, running Hormone Punk 4-piece might be a good option, as long as you're not dumb like me and swap to Evelyn before stunning the enemy. Also, consider using the same rotation I explained for Koleda, since this achieves the maximum damage potential in a single stun window. Finally, let's talk about the champion, and yes, I'm talking about Lighter. Unlike Koleda, Lighter can provide a lot of damage buffs for all fire and ice units on the team, and even more if you own his signature engine. One of the strongest buffs he can provide is reducing the fire and ice resistance of enemies. This means that Lighter Lucy is a super strong team composition you can use for Evelyn. Lighter not only increases Evelyn's DPS potential, he also increases Lucy's as well. This buff is so good for Lucy and Evelyn that I can cut 40 seconds on my fastest clear when compared to Koleda Lucy. Of course, Lucy still has the same problems I mentioned before, but the damage increase here is really worth it. Lighter Nicole is also a really good pick, especially if you own Lighter signature weapon, since now you can get a lot of crit rate and crit damage for Evelyn. Lighter Nicole was around 3 seconds faster than Lighter Lucy, and while it seems like a small difference, remember that we're comparing on shield defense. This could snowball to a huge DPS difference if we were testing on Deadly Assault. Speaking of it, let me know in the comments if you'd rather see some action on Deadly Assault instead of shield defense. I spent a lot of time optimizing rotations, but I can probably do this for the next units if you want to. And of course, Lighter Astra tops the chart with a 47-second clear, which is quite insane since the enemy isn't even fire weak. Astra buffs are bigger than Lucy, so of course no surprises here, and pairing all of this with guaranteed quick assist makes both Lighter and Evelyn flow really well in the field. Now, let's talk about some different teams here, starting with a classic one that everyone's talking about, and I should probably make a video on this topic, but anyway, Astra Nicole proves to be a really strong pick here. Both Astra and Nicole provide different buffs that once stacked gives the whole team a lot of different stats. 25% crit damage, 50% crit rate, 1200 attack, 40% defense threat, and around 79% damage. Not to mention all the consistent decibel generation they provide due to the off-field damage and quick assist they will trigger for you. This thing is super consistent on the clear time and can get around 62-second clears on shield defense. Next up, we have Caesar, which works, but it's also quite sad. That's because Caesar is not quick swap friendly. Her shield buff will get removed once you swap the unit out of the field, and this means lower damage output. For Caesar Astra, I still managed to get a 66-second clear, but Caesar is not consistent since you need to play around defensive assist. So her stun potential sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Caesar Astra also definitely saturates your attack and damage numbers, so keep this in mind in case you plan to run this team. And don't even think about Caesar and Nicole because you can't do the quick swap to benefit from Nicole defense threat, since this means you're going to lose the attack buff from Caesar. And for the final one, which you'll probably be surprised and even call a troll team, I have Bernie's Lucy and Bernie's Astra. I have tested them with a lot of different builds, but overall the performance is really similar on every single one of them. You can run Swing Jazz or Woodpecker on Evelyn, Inferno Metal or Chaos Jazz on Bernie's, and for the support you can run Astral Voice. While you don't get to activate Bernie's additional ability if you don't use Lucy, Astra buffs are good enough to get better clear times. I find it really funny how this team managed to get faster clears than Koleda Lucy, and it doesn't require a huge setup and combo for your chain damage. And since the argument for Koleda being not as effective here was the lack of fire weakness, well, Bernie's would also benefit from the extra damage, so good luck with Koleda, I guess. Anyway, I hope this video could help you understand a bit of the damage potential on different team compositions and how flexible Evelyn can be when it comes to team building. She's also quite powerful even on a free-to-play team, so even if you don't own a lot of good support units, Evelyn can still do a lot of damage. Let me know which team you plan to run Evelyn with, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or join my Discord server. Oh, and in case you have no idea how good Astra can be and even change your build, check out this video where I explain how much damage she can add to your DPS. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video.